I'm meteorologist Evan Stewart. It's Friday, October 9th, and this is an update on Hurricane Delta. It's just hours away from making landfall. This is the visible satellite. We're not seeing that well-formed eye like we were yesterday, and the storm has weakened just a little bit, and that was expected as the storm made its way closer to the Louisiana coastline, but still winds of 105 miles per hour and gusts of 140. It is moving to the north-northeast at 14 miles per hour. As we take a look at the radar, here is that eye of the storm right here, just south of the Louisiana coastline, south of Cameron, Louisiana. And as we take a look at the movement of the radar here in the last 3 hours, you can see that progress to the north-northeast as the storm is getting ever so close to that Louisiana coastline, and heavy rain already being reported through much of Louisiana and eastern parts of Texas. Here's Houston. Beaumont's picking up some heavy rain. Not much over towards the New Orleans area, which is certainly some good news, but this is the same area that just 6 weeks ago was hit very hard by Hurricane Laura when we had some wind gusts of over close to 150 miles per hour. So once again, just 6 weeks later, another hurricane set to hit in almost the exact same place. Already getting some reports of some flooding here around Cameron. We've already got 3 feet of storm surge, and the storm is still off towards the south, so that water level will likely come up. And we've got 4 feet of storm surge around Freshwater City, and we are expecting some more storm surge flooding up around Vermilion Bay. Remember, counterclockwise flow around the hurricane, pushing that water up into the bay, and that's why we're looking here in some of these oranges of greater than 6 feet of storm surge, and that's likely here around Vermilion Bay and areas just south and east of Lake Charles on the right side, the east side of the storm. On the back side of it, we're not looking at as much because the winds will be coming in from the north, and that will push the water out for areas right here around Sabine Pass and back into areas of Texas. So let's give you the latest. This is the 3 o'clock advisory from the National Hurricane Center. 105 mile per hour winds. As we said, it's about 65 miles south of Cameron, Louisiana. So moving to the northeast at 14. Again, expected to make landfall as a Category 2 hurricane with winds of 105 miles per hour here just in the next couple of hours. And then the remnants work their way by Sunday up into areas of Kentucky and Tennessee, still producing quite a bit of rain along this forecast track. Here's the latest on the landfalling systems that we've had. We've had 9 so far this year. 3 of them have hit Louisiana. Again, they were Cristobal, Marco, and Laura, which was just 6 weeks ago, and that hit as a Category 4 hurricane and worked its way up in a lot of the same areas and kind of the same direction that we're looking at with Delta. This would be the first time that, since we've been keeping records, that we will have 10 landfalling hurricanes or tropical systems in the continental United States. Again, that has never happened before. So we compare Delta to Laura. This is the track of Laura right here in yellow. And again, as we zoom in, you can see almost the exact same place. We're looking at around Cameron, Louisiana for landfall with this storm. And there are still a lot of folks, from Laura, they don't have power. They just got power back recently. A lot of the homes still have a lot of significant damage, a lot of the tarps on the roofs. So most folks have been ordered to evacuate out of Lake Charles and places south of there towards Cameron. And that is certainly some good news, because even buildings that might have survived Laura, they still might be a little unstable. And this is a different storm, a little bit of a different direction. So there's nothing to guarantee that any structures that survived Laura wouldn't be damaged or, have issues here coming from Delta. So that's something that we're watching. Again, heavy rain along the forecast track, 6 to 10 inches of rain here from around Cameron to Lake Charles up towards Alexandria, 4 to 6 just on the edge of that track. And even off towards the east, we're looking at 2 to 4 inches of rain. And eventually some of that moisture will work its way into Hampton Roads as we get into the latter half of the weekend. So take a look at the computer forecast as far as rainfall. Again, that 6 to 10 pretty much on target. Alexandria forecasted, at least by this one computer model, for about 7.5 inches of rain. That's where we see some of these darker reds in here. Cameron, 5.5 inches of rain, 5.5 in Monroe, over 3 inches, almost 4 inches in Shreveport. So again, some very heavy rain along that track as the storm works its way up. Even towards Memphis, we could be looking at areas at around 4 inches of rain as well. Now, all about Delta. The area was ravaged by Laura and Delta's path. Storm surge up to 11 feet expected in some areas, and this is the 4th named storm to make landfall in Louisiana, and that ties the record from 2002.